today is try and pull the bed back off, and then we're going to get the truck in the garage so we can work on the cab. We're going to try and get this painted first, and then once the cab's done, we'll pull the bed in and get that ready for paint. So,
the bed bolts are out. So next step, we're going to put up more ratchet straps like these. So Zach is working on a little bit of a DIY alignment. At this point, the truck is pretty pigeon-toed, and the last time we moved it, the one wheel would drag if the other one was spinning. All right, this is looking a little bit better. It has to go up so high because of these wheels. Yep, you're good. Clearing, but just barely. Zach's adjusting the initial throttle position so that...
You talk like I know what I'm doing. I'm just poking at stuff with the screwdriver.
Gee, isn't she a beauty? So it's just me today, and I am working on getting the cab all sanded. All right, got the weather sealing gasket, if that's what it's called, off on both sides. Okay, so I've spent the last, I don't know, 2 hours or so with the angle grinder modified to have the sandpaper on it, and I have a first pass done on the entire cab. So as you can see, there's no paint on the cab anymore, and it's also outside. So I spent probably the last week or so stripping all of the paint off of this, filling all of the low spots with Bondo. And so our next step is going to be to clean off everything on the back side of the frame. This is pretty dusty, and then we're going to wipe down the entire cab and clean the inside really thoroughly so that we don't have a bunch of dust that ends up getting disturbed. The truck accumulated a lot of dust while I was sanding,
So we let the truck dry off in the garage overnight, and now it's sunny again, so we pulled the truck out. It's finally warmed up, so we're gonna get this gasket out to get the back window off, so it'll be easier to paint the truck without having to worry about that. Another window.
yay!
So
It's gonna be so much easier to paint.
all right, we got the truck in the paint bay, so we can get to work on the cab now. So we're gonna have to paint up here on the roof, which is gonna be something special. There's not a whole lot of room. So what we're gonna do is drop the, we're gonna take the wheels off and drop the axle down as far as we can. So we'll put some jack stands either under the axle or maybe even on the frame so we can get this thing really low. And then hopefully we'll have enough space to get the gun up over the roof. Yeah, it's pretty tight in here, everything. Yeah, like we can't get around the back at all. It almost touches the door. So, yeah, so I'll drop the wheels, and I guess we'll drop everything. We'll drop the whole truck. All right, so the truck is dropped down. I also built this little kind of wooden platform on the back of the frame so that I can stand on that to get to the back side of the roof. And then if we put the step ladder over on the sides, should be able to reach across pretty decently. So next up, we're gonna pull off this fender and the battery. So we have to keep this fender on to drive it because that's where the battery sits. There's not really anywhere else to rest it when it's driving. So we've been throwing the scrap fender on and off regularly every time we need to move it.
Yep.
But hopefully this is the last time it's coming off until we pull it out of here with the fresh paint job. All right, the fender's off. We took off the chrome trim around the windshield, So I think we're ready to start taping now. So we're gonna try and tape off and mask the entire windshield, the door cavities, the rear window cavity. We'll put plastic over the whole frame area and the engine bay, and then maybe we'll start painting later after that.
Yay!
We've also got the hinges for the doors. Those are all cleaned up now. We'll give those a coat of paint to match. We've got a lot of the edges all taped off now, so we're gonna put some paper across the windshield. We've got our fancy brown paper. Oh. It's a perfect fit.
So we have everything papered off and taped up and in general covered the way that it needs to be. So our next step is going to be to get some primer on this. We have everything taped up now, and the space where we're gonna have the cream stripe is all papered off. We also had this door in here because there's a little spot that we need to touch up. So we're getting ready to spray the blue. Super excited to see it all together. And yeah.
Peeled off the masking tape along the edges of the cream and the blue line, and we got all the blue painted. It looks really good. Also got this door finished. The hinges have some paint. What do you think, Em?
I love it. I think it looks so good. I'm really excited to see it all together.
Gotta get this thing for the beach. So maybe tomorrow morning we'll get up and peel off all the rest of the tape so we can see it together. But alright, so we just peeled off all the tape. We'll let this just stay in and dry for a couple days to make sure everything's cured. And we're going to start assembling the front end today. It's looking pretty good.
So we got the truck out of the garage and we are now working on putting the doors on. And we're gonna reassemble the full front end. I'm so excited to see how this looks all together. It's gonna look awesome. I'm really, really excited.
All right, so we got rained out when we were outside, so we pushed it back in. And we've got the fenders on now. We just dropped the hood into place and it looks so good. And we've definitely still got a long way to go before it all is together, but it's pretty cool. Like finally looks like a truck again.
I know, it's been so long where it's just been pieces strewn all over the garage. It's really exciting and encouraging to see it start to take shape again. Can't wait to see it once the bed's all done too.
I forgot how big it is. Like
Yeah.
the truck ends here and then there's like body stuff out to here and then the bumper to there. So
Oh gosh.
yeah, we're like hardly gonna be able to fit in here once we get the bumper on. We've got this lower kind of cowl piece on, the core support's in place. We realized that it's quite a job to get all the panels to line up. So we're gonna have to like, once we get everything in, loosen all the bolts again and do a lot of like shifting around to try and get it all squared up and like set the gaps properly. But
it's coming together and it's so blue.
So we got the hood bolted on. Alignment is still a little bit off, but it's pretty close for now. So it's really looking good now. Sweet. Still got a lot of work to do though. I have to put the whole front end on, and then the fender liners. And we've got all the trim that goes around the door, all the gasket stuff, as well as the actual door interior and the windows and the rear window. So.
Yeah, it is. So Zach got the big kid tires on it, and I'm so excited. It seriously looks so great. I can't wait to see it with the bed on.
I think they're more like little kid tires.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we are just living out our childhood fantasies with this truck, and I'm okay with that.
I'd say that the tires are our one indulgence, but I don't know.
In any case, we are going to stick this guy in the carport so that we can shuffle around the bed, put it into the paint bay, and hopefully get a coat of paint on it tonight.